Hurley sat there for at least an hour. He was bored because he knew what they were doing, and he'd just as soon get on with it. Isolation was a standard interrogation torture technique, and while it worked on most people, it was useless on Hurley because of the simple fact that he really didn't like people all that much. There were a few here and there that he'd met over the years who could hold his interest, but most others were either boring or irritating. There were noises on the other side of the door, footsteps, some talking, but nothing he could make out, and then the door opened. Hurley tried to count the different steps. His best guess was 3 or 4 men. They spread out around him. Someone approached him from behind, and Hurley resisted the impulse to flinch. The men grabbed the burlap bag and yanked it from his head. Hurley blinked several times and took a look around the room. An industrial lamp hung from the ceiling, a brown extension cord snaking its way to the door. Hurley looked at the 3 men he could see. 2 were familiar. "Gentlemen, there must be some misunderstanding here," Hurley announced in an easy tone. "I thought hostilities in Beirut were over." The 2 men in front of Hurley shared a brief smile. The older one said, "Mr. Sherman, I have been looking forward to this for some time." "So have I, Syed." "So you know who I am?" Syed asked with a raised eyebrow. "I sure do. You're the GSD goon here in Beirut." "And you, Mr. Sherman, are a CIA assassin." Hurley looked as if he had to think about that for a second, and then he nodded and said, "That would be correct. I kill people like you for a living. In fact, I killed your boss, Hisham." Syed nodded. This was going to be very interesting. "It really was a shame that you weren't at the embassy that afternoon. We planned the entire operation with the hope that you would be there." "Yeah, it was a real shame, although I've tried to make up for it over the years by killing as many of you assholes as I can." Syed gave him an affable smile. "It looks like your killing days have come to an end." "Possibly." Hurley surveyed the dank room. "Things don't look so good, but I'm always up for a challenge." "This is a challenge you will not win, and you know that." "I'm afraid I don't. You see, I'm a fucked-up guy. I'm not okay in the head, and I pretty much hate you limp dicks more than I love life, so this is going to be a tough one." "Really, Mr. Sherman, your false bravado is so American, so Hollywood." Hurley winced at the word Hollywood, as if it pained him to be associated with the town. "No false bravado here, Syed. I am going to fuck with you until I take my last breath. I'm going to feed you so much disinformation, you won't know what to believe. You'll be killing your own people before it's all over. You won't sleep at night, and when you do, you'll be dreaming of traitors around every corner, spies in your own camp. This is going to be a blast." "Really?" "Yep." Hurley gave him a nod to confirm his conviction. "The 2 of us are going to take a little trip into the bowels of my sick mind, and trust me, you won't make it out unscathed."